Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. It's Carnages. Today I am here to cover patch notes for the update version 2.5, and as you guys already know, we are getting one new character and 5 new uniforms for existing characters in this update. But before we talk about the patch notes, let me tell you this is a crystal coupon giveaway video. So if you want to win crystal coupon, all you have to do is subscribe my channel, like the video and comment down below thoughts with your IGN and email address. I will announce the winner's name on my next video, so make sure to check that out. So let's jump into the patch notes, and we are gonna start with the new character Monica Rambeau, aka Spectrum. Spectrum looks like a good character to me. She is a blast superhero, but the only problem with this character is she is a biosub character. But fear not, because they're gonna introduce a faction battle where we can get her for free for a certain amount of time. So her leadership applies to all allies, increase energy attack by 36% and ignore target dodges by 36%. So only with her leadership she can be a meta for both WBL. Her 4-star passive gives her flat 20% increase of all attack and all defense with 1% all speed buff and 100% chance to dodge physical attacks. So anytime she is fighting with a physical attack dealing character, she can dodge all of his enemies' attack, and this is something new for me. I want to see how it performs because it only has 7 seconds cooldown, so it will be applied almost all the time. Then her tier 2 passive gives her decreased energy damage received by 60%, increase skill damage by 25% and bonus damage by 35%, and with that we have 100% chance to increase critical damage by 50% on critical attacks. So I think she can take plenty of hits and will be a tanky character with lots of damage. So now let's see her active skills. Her first skill has a stun, 70% chance of missing attack, energy damage 50% of energy attack. Second skill has deals 30% shock damage, 70% chance of missing attack, guaranteed critical rate increase by 30%, 100% chance for immunity to all damage. Third skill has 10% recovery of max HP, which is very good for her survivability, invincibility, okay, accumulation through damage dealt. It is good, but if it has 1% then it will be better. Then her fourth skill has deals 40% shock damage, incapacitation, all defense downs stacked up to 50%, which will be applied on WBU with 30% increase of lightning damage, okay. Fifth skill has 70% chance of missing attack, paralyze, penetration, increase all attack, that is a frenzy buff, and critical rate removes incapacitation. Now let's talk about new uniforms, starting with Blue Marble. His uniform effect gives him 30% all resistance, increased damage dealt to target with mockery effect by 30%, which I don't know what exactly it is, and last we have increased damage dealt to targets with purify effect by 30%, which is a charm. Well, it's an interesting passive because it will only work against charm and mockery. I don't have any idea how this is gonna work on PvE, but I can assure you it will be good for PvP. Then we have his active skills. Skill 1 has a stun, skill 2 also has a stun, skill 3 has a lots of things, so let me first read it. It says applied mockery effect to target, so actually Blue Marble gonna deal mockery effect to the target and then he gonna use his passive, and this is a cool synergy. I like it and I wanna use it ASAP to see how it works. So after that we have stun and silence, and then they said forces opponent to focus attacks on the caster, cannot remove with the remove all debuff, so the mockery effect can't be removed by all debuff removal, which is insane. Honestly, this new mechanic looks OP, and with this new mechanic this skill has all attack and all defense buff with max HP recovery and immunity. His fourth skill has invincibility with 100% damage proc, and of course we can control it with VFAD, and fifth skill has incapacitation with 40% all attack and defense buff. So for me, I think Blue Marble will be a great character with this uniform, and I honestly want to see how much he can do. Then we have Captain Marvel with her Last Avenger uniform. She is a super villain with this uniform. Her uniform effect gives her increased damage dealt to super villain faction by 50%, which is a lot. And then she has decreased damage from super villain faction by 50%, and at last decreases all damage received by 40%. So she will be a headache for super villains on any content. She can hit harder and take less damage. It's insane. Her 4-star passive now has super armor with all defense plus 35%. Her active skill 1 has burn and silence, which I think will be leading us to ABX. Second skill has stun, paralyze and increase all attack by 20%. Third skill has stun, fracture, incapacitation and all defense down, which will not apply to W, which is a bummer. Fourth skill is the ignore iframe skill with movement decrease, stun, fracture and incapacitation. And her fifth skill has burn, stun, incapacitation with whooping 40% increase of all attack and all defense. So she got a top to bottom rework, and I honestly think she will be a meta again for ABX, but this time as a super villain. I have her at tier 3, so I am gonna purchase this uniform ASAP. Then we have Black Panther 3099 uniform. This is the original uniform made by Marvel Future Fight, which is looking cool. He is a combat superhero and his uniform effect changes his passive and gives him a super armor, which is nice. Then you can see they are changing his ultimate skill with this uniform, but if you see it closely, they took away his 20% all attack buff from here, which is of course a nerf, but they did give him much more on other skills. His 4-star passive gives him critical damage increase by 15% and 100% chance to increase damage by 10%. I think there is a typing mistake because Case said he has 100% increase. I don't know for sure. We'll see after the update what happens. Then his tier 2 passive gives him a guaranteed critical rate increase by 50%, which I think is great for Rage. And with that we have skill damage increased by 30% and bonus damage increased by 20%. With that they added decrease all damage received by 50%, so his new tier 2 passive looks dope. His first active skill has bleed, stun, silence and damage proc of 100%. Second skill has bleed, stun, paralyze. Third skill has bleed, guard hits and great accumulation, which is one of the best in the game. Fourth skill has 40% all attack and defense buffs, and fifth skill also has increased all attack and defense buffs by 30%. So they added more attacks buff on fourth and fifth skill, and for that they removed 20% attack buffs from his ultimate skill. I hope they rework Black Panther quite well because he needs it badly. Then we have America Chavez. She is a combat superhero. Her uniform effect gives her 50% increase of HP with decreased damage received from reflected effects by 50%. On her leadership, they added dodge rate increase by 6%. Her 4-star passive gives her a critical rate increase by 25% with 30% chance of ignoring opponent's dodge rate. Her tier 2 passive gives her super armor, decreased physical damage received by 60% and increased skill damage 30% and bonus damage by 25%. Then her active skill 1 has stun, second skill also has stun, third skill has stun and incapacitation, fourth skill has stun, silence, all defense downs can be used on WBO, and fifth skill has stun, penetration, invincibility with a frenzy buff for 40%. Then we have Quasar. She is a universal superhero and is a paywall character. Her uniform effect gives her 20% chain hit damage and decreases all damage received by 20%. Her 4-star passive has removed all debuffs, which is very good, and with that she has shield of max HP. Her tier 2 passive gives her guaranteed dodge rate with ignore target dodge rate and increase skill damage by 30% and bonus damage by 30%. Her first skill has stun, second skill has stun and removal all active debuffs. Third skill has paralyze, all defense down that can be used on WBO with immunity, and fourth skill has max HP recovery with penetration and invincibility. And fifth skill has stun, silence, invincibility accumulation based on damage dealt. And for me, American Chavez and Quasar is a PvP type characters because of the effect that I am seeing on the patch notes. Then we have Blue Marvel ultimate skill. He has ignored defense 10% and dodge rate by 100% for 6 seconds with invincibility and damage proc, and at the bottom you can see his skill animation. After that we can see the awakening skill for Spectrum, America Chavez and Quasar. All of them are just copy paste for one to another. As you all guys can see, for America Chavez we have shock damage, stun, incapacitation, all defense down, critical damage, critical rate, increased damage, increase all attack, which is a frenzy buff. Then for Quasar we have shock damage, stun but no incapacitation. Rest of this are same, but she has I think paralyze here. Okay. And for Spectrum we have shock damage, stun, remove all debuffs. She doesn't have any incapacitation and paralyze. Rest of the thing are all same. And then we have new uniform collection set, and at last Devs clarifies what they did with the characters like Black Panther and Blue Marvel. So I think this update is looking mostly for PvP, but the reward that all of the characters are getting is really good. So I am looking forward to the update and can't wait to use them all. So that's it for today. Hope I help you to understand what we are getting on this update. Don't forget to participate on the giveaway and I'll see you soon on the next one. Take care.